Today is Sunday, July 26th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are on Bill's story, page 16, and I believe we're going to finish that today. Out of the 12 and 12, we are on step 3. We will be reading page 38. And of course, we'll read the NA just for today and Al-Anon's Courage to Change. So with that, hope you all are doing well this beautiful Sunday morning, my friends. Life is good over here. We have been given a brand new set of 24 hours to work this program, this nice little frame right here to work this program and to live another day, another opportunity to live a life of integrity. That's always an exciting thing. So as I have my cup of coffee here, my giant cup, I have a big old smile on my face, and I'm glad you're here with me. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from the last few days of reading, it's been fascinating. So on page 13 of Bill's story, we see where he's worked pretty much steps 3 through 12. And pages 14 and the page we read yesterday, 15, was talking all about the spiritual experience when he comes up to the doctor and the doctor says, "Hey, something's happened to you." that I'm amazed by. Just keep it up. And working with others. One of the last lines we read yesterday, it says on 15, "But I soon found that when all other measures failed, work with another alcoholic would save the day." And I love this last line from that paragraph. It is a design for living that works in rough going. And that is a great way to sum up the entire program, right? And then finally, he talked about how the fellowships are growing in number. And this was back in the 30s when he wrote this. So you can imagine how big and how expansive the fellowships are now. So all we're going to do today is finish off the chapter. This is the rest of Bill's story on page 16. An alcoholic in his cups is an unlovely creature. Our struggles with them are variously strenuous, comic, and tragic. One poor chap committed suicide in my home. He could not or would not see our way of life. There is, however, a vast amount of fun about it all. I suppose some would be shocked at our seeming worldliness and levity. But just underneath, there's deadly earnestness. Faith has to work 24 hours a day in and through us, or we perish. Most of us feel we need to look no further for utopia. We have it with us right here and now. Each day, my friend's simple talk in our kitchen multiplies itself in a widening circle of peace on earth and goodwill to men. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on step 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And for the last few days, we've been talking about dependence on a higher power and how it actually leads to more freedom and peace instead of less freedom and peace that we would think the word dependence would mean. So we're on page 38. We realize that the word dependence is as distasteful to many psychiatrists and psychologists as it is to alcoholics. Like our professional friends, we too are aware that there are wrong forms of dependence. We've experienced many of them. No adult man or woman, for example, should be in too much emotional dependence upon a parent. They should have been weaned long before, and if they have not been, they should wake up to the fact. This very form of faulty dependence has caused many a rebellious alcoholic to conclude that dependence of any sort be intolerably damaging. But dependence upon an AA group or upon a higher power hasn't produced any baleful results. When World War II broke out, this spiritual principle had its first major test. AAs entered the services and were scattered all over the world. Would they be able to take discipline, stand up under fire, and endure the monotony and misery of war? Would the kind of dependence that they had learned in AA carry them through? Well, it did. They had even fewer alcoholic lapses or emotional binges than AA Safe at Home did. They were just as capable of endurance and valor as many other soldiers. Whether in Alaska or on the Salerno beachhead, their dependence upon a higher power worked. And far from being a weakness, this dependence was their chief source of strength. NA just for today, July 26th. Unconditional surrender. Help for addicts begins only when we are able to admit complete defeat. This can be frightening, but it is the foundation on which we build our lives. Basic text, page 22. Most of us have tried everything we can think of, exerted every ounce of force possible to fill the spiritual hole inside us. Nothing, not drugs, not control and management, not sex, money, property, power, or prestige, has filled it. We are powerless. Our lives are unmanageable, at least by ourselves alone. Our denial will not change that fact. So we surrender. We ask a higher power to care for our will in our lives. Sometimes in surrendering, we don't know that a power greater than ourselves exists, which can restore us to wholeness. Sometimes we're not sure that the God of our understanding will care for our unmanageable lives. Our lack of certainty, though, does not affect the essential truth. We are powerless. Our lives are unmanageable. We must surrender. Only by doing so can we open ourselves wide. Wide enough for old ideas and past wreckage to be cleared. Wide enough for a higher power to enter. Just for today, I will surrender unconditionally. I can make it as easy or as hard as I choose. Either way, I will do it. Courage to Change, July 26th. I'm learning to identify illusions that make my life unmanageable. For example, I wanted to stop controlling people and situations. But the harder I tried, the more I felt as if I were knocking my head against a wall. Then someone mentioned that I couldn't give up something I didn't have. Perhaps I could try giving up the illusion of control. Once I saw that my attempts to exercise power were based on illusions, it was easier to let go and let God. Another illusion is that I have a big hole inside, and I must fill it with something from outside myself. Compulsively shopping, obsessing about relationships, trying to fix everyone else's problems. These are some of the ways that I've tried to fill this hole. Yet the problem is spiritual emptiness and must be filled from within. It wasn't until I saw through the illusion that I was deficient and needed to look outside myself for wholeness that I began to heal. Today's reminder: today, if I hear myself thinking that I am not good enough, or that I need something outside myself to make me whole, I'll know that I am listening to illusions. Today, I can call an Al-Anon friend and come back to reality. Human beings, by changing the inner attitudes of their minds, can change the outer aspects of their lives. Quote from William James. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. Some beautiful stuff. Man, I had to reread that Al-Anon one because that's interesting. And it reminds me of that quote, to make whole, be whole. And how do I do that? I think for me, this is what's worked for me. When I would, every morning I pray the third step prayer. God, I offer myself to you to build with me and do with me as you will. Relieve me the bondage of self that I may better do your will. Please take away my difficulties. And then I would list them off. And at the time, and I still catch myself doing it. As a matter of fact, I did it today, so this is a great reminder. A lot of times when I ask my higher power to take away my difficulties, I just list the things that are disturbing me, whether it's selfishness, self-centeredness, fear, ego, pride, insecurity, anxiety, lust, all, any one of the 7 deadly sins, right? But I remember an old timer in one of the fellowships I attend, he has like 30, 40 years of sobriety. He says that by taking it away, it leaves a vacuum. So he tries to pray for the opposite of that, to be put in its place. So that would be, instead of selfishness, selflessness today. How can I be selfless today? I can put my family's needs before my own. Instead of lust after another woman, yeah, that's not good. How about pray the lust more for my wife? And I'll tell you, that's worked. I've prayed that, and that has worked. And lusting for righteousness and truth, and instead of anxiety and fear, peace and gratitude and joy. Replacing the things that get in the way of my usefulness to others with godly traits and fruits of the Spirit, I love that. And just as the Al-Anon reading says, I must fill with something outside of myself. That's what she thought, that it has to be either it's compulsive shopping, obsessing about relationships, trying to fix everyone else's problems to feel better. For me, it was depending on other people's validation. That was a big one in order for me to like myself. But as I just said, when I pray for these things, again, like peace and joy instead of anxiety, and I keep praying. And I do this right now, do this podcast, right? I had some intrusive thoughts this morning. But I don't anymore. Because I've just done this. This helps me so much. And I prayed, and now I've got a big old smile on my face. I did right at the beginning because I'm like, I'm home. This feels right. It's awesome. It's beautiful stuff. And I just love the way Bill's story ends as well. Let me get back to that book real quick. I love what he says here. Of course, our malady is serious. And of course, I have to take it seriously. But I love what he says right here. There is, however, a vast amount of fun about it all. I suppose that some would be shocked at our seeming worldliness and levity. But just underneath, there's a deadly earnestness. And I think what that means is, for me, hey, we could easily be dead. Easily. I know I could. Somehow, some way, for some reason, I've been given another chance. How could I not smile and want to carry the message to somebody else? In this last paragraph, most of us feel we need to look no further for utopia. You betcha. I do believe that one day I'll see the pearly gates, hopefully not too soon. But I also believe that heaven is right here and right now too. A little slice of it in this set of 24 hours. No matter what the outside circumstances may be. I love it. We have it with us right here and right now. Each day, my friends, simple talk in our kitchen multiplies itself in a widening circle of peace on earth and goodwill to men. It's amazing how my higher power can use one little thing to completely change my life for the better. Awesome stuff. But my friends, that's all we have time for today. I hope you all have a great one. Please know, as always, I don't speak on behalf of NA, AA, Al-Anon, any other sect or denomination. I am just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery. Honored to be here another day. And if we're given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.